Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Storytell 35. I'm so glad to be with you this week. And this week I'm very excited because we're going to be starting our Ramadan theme for every week until the end of Ramadan, which is May 12th. So Ramadan Mubarak everyone, we're almost there. I'm so excited for Ramadan. Wallah, every year my spirits go up around this time, around spring before the summer, because I love Ramadan so much and I love fasting, and I'm finally old enough and finally have the strength to fast the whole Ramadan, which I'm so excited about. So inshallah you guys will have an amazing Ramadan, and from now on this week we're going to be starting a theme on Ramadan. Every week I'm going to be reading a book and doing a quote and doing a craft about Ramadan, like some Ramadan decorations. So I'm very excited to be with you, and I'm very excited to start this new theme. So, the story we're going to be reading this week is Layla's Lunchbox. It's a very nice Ramadan story, and I love it so much. So let us share my screen. I'm going to be using Epic again to read this amazing book. There. All right, let's start reading it. Layla's Lunchbox. A Ramadan story. "We won't be needing this for a while," said Layla's mother, hanging up Layla's lunchbox. "Imagine, I won't be eating lunch for a whole month," replied Layla with a twirl. "I won't have to pack lunch for a month," said her mom with a bigger twirl. The year before, Layla had wanted to fast with her best friends Hind and Ishrat during Ramadan, but Layla's mom had insisted she was too small. Remembering that, Layla stopped twirling. She missed her friends. Moving from one continent to another had been hard. On the map in her atlas, North America and the Middle East were 10 inches apart, but in real life, she was so much further away. She wished she was only 10 inches away from Hind and Ishrat. She knew the sign by the highway said, "Peachtree City. You'll love to call it home." But she didn't agree with the sign. Abu Dhabi still felt like her home. The next morning before sunrise, Layla's mom gently nudged her. "Layla," she whispered, "Sehri time." And Sehri is how you say suhoor in Pakistani. So I'm sure many of you know Sehri is suhoor. Just want to mention that. Layla chomped on her chocolate chip pancakes with her eyes closed. "Delicious," she said. "Come, let's pray now," said her mom. After Sehri, Layla snuggled back into her bed until her mom woke her up again, this time for school. As she left the house, her mom handed her a note. "Layla, please give this note to Miss Penworth." Without her lunchbox to carry, her fingers felt extra free and swingy. She felt so light she skipped to school. She skipped to the school bus stop. On the school bus, she read her mom's note. "Dear Miss Penworth, this will be Layla's first time fasting for the month of Ramadan, so it is an exciting time for us. Please excuse Layla from lunch for this special month. Thanks, Miss Malik." Layla didn't feel so bouncy anymore. What if Miss Penworth didn't know about Ramadan? No one else would be fasting with her. She folded the note into a teeny tiny square and hid it in her book bag. Layla walked slowly to her class. Her throat felt dry all morning. When lunchtime arrived, she still hadn't given Miss Penworth her note. "Layla, did you forget your lunch?" asked Miss Penworth. Layla opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Samantha volunteered. "I'll share my lunch with Layla." Miss Penworth shook her head. "Thank you for the offer, Samantha, but Layla, please get a sandwich from the cafeteria." Layla followed her classmates to the cafeteria. "Layla, do you want some of my cream roll?" asked Anna. Layla thought of telling Anna that she was fasting, but she didn't think anyone at Sunnyvale Elementary School knew about Ramadan. "No thanks," she started to say. "I didn't bring my—" "Are you sure?" asked Anna, unwrapping the cream rolls. Layla watched the cream roll get smaller and smaller, and she didn't feel so sure. Cream rolls were her favorite. She looked away. Her nose still smelled food. Layla wished she had given Miss Penworth a note. Even Isaiah, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it's Isaiah. Isaiah's bologna sandwich looked tasty, and Layla didn't even like bologna. Her stomach rumbled. Suddenly, she had an idea. While everyone was busy eating, she sneaked out of the cafeteria. Her stomach stopped growling. Why, Layla, it's a pleasure to see you. But what brings you here at lunchtime? Asked Miss Carman, the librarian. Layla felt safe among all the books. She opened her mouth, and this time the words tumbled out. Layla told Miss Carman that Miss Penworth and her classmates didn't know she was fasting. She told how she missed Hind and Ishrat. It felt good to tell someone all the words that had been inside her mind all morning, and especially to tell her about Ramadan. Miss Carman understood. You must feel special to fast as Ramadan, said the librarian with a smile. I do, said Layla, but why is it so hard to explain? You know what I always do when I can't get my thoughts out, or when I get shy about talking? Said Miss Carman. I write my thoughts down. Layla got to work. She wrote neatly, adding extra loops to her capital L. She worked so hard her cheeks turned pink. Dear Miss Penworth, I didn't forget my lunchbox today. It's Ramadan and my mom finally let me fast. This means I won't be eating lunch for a month. Sincerely, Layla. P.S. I'm Muslim. P.P.S. My mom wrote a note too. Here it is. P.P.P.S. Here's a poem I wrote about Ramadan. Ramadan is a month Muslims celebrate, a time to count our blessings and appreciate. Muslims fast before sunrise to sunset, but wait, that's not all just yet. Ramadan is a time for lots of prayer. We help the poor people, show that we care. So in the day, I won't be eating any food, but hopefully I will stay in a good mood. Layla hurried back to the cafeteria to join her class. Before school was out, she quietly dropped both notes into Miss Penworth's desk. The next morning, Layla swung her fingers as she waited for the school bus. Would Miss Penworth like her poem? Layla hoped Miss Penworth wouldn't think she had forgotten her lunchbox again. She slowly climbed each step on the school bus. In class, Miss Penworth didn't say anything, so Layla wondered what had happened. At times like this, she wished Hind and Ishrat were there with her. They would know what to say. At lunchtime, Layla's feet felt heavy. She was sure Miss Penworth had seen the notes. Everyone would think she had forgotten her lunchbox again. As she was leaving class, Miss Penworth patted Layla on the back and handed her a message. Miss Penworth had made her capital L in Layla's name extra loopy, too. Dear Layla, I enjoyed your lovely poem about Ramadan. I'm impressed you're fasting. What a special time for you, and you and your family must be thrilled. Would you share your poem with the class today after lunch? You could go into the library this month instead of the cafeteria. Miss Carman is excited to see you. Sincerely, Miss Penworth. P.S. Miss Carman told me you missed your friends. I hope you keep making new friends with our class. Layla twirled all the way to the library. She couldn't wait to share her Ramadan poem with her class. Later, at iftar, she would celebrate this day. The end. I'm going to read the author's note because I really love it. As a child, I remember growing up in Abu Dhabi wishing I would fast with my best friends Hind and Ishrat, but my mother thought I was too small to fast. When I finally was allowed to fast, I missed their company. Like Layla, my family moved to Peachtree City, Georgia, all the way from Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates. During Ramadan, I found it challenging to explain to my non-Muslim friends why I was not eating lunch with them. The library became my safe place, away from all the fragrant food smells, and I spent many hours there enjoying good books. I hope we all have the courage, like Layla, to explain and celebrate our beliefs. Contrary to what some people may think, Ramadan is not all about food. It's about growing up and finally being able to fast. It's about cherishing the family with whom you sit down every evening at sunset to open your fast. It's about praying with the community and sharing with those in need. It's about inviting friends over for iftar and sending food to your neighbors. Layla's poem is adapted from a note we used to stick on food my mother would send to our neighbors during Ramadan. It's a special month to celebrate each year, and I look forward to it, with or without cream rolls. Ramadan Mubarak. Have a blessed Ramadan. The end. That is the end of our book this week. I hope you all enjoyed the book as much as I did. Thank you so much for reading it with me. And now we're going to move on to the craft. So for the craft, we're going to be making a homemade fanus Ramadan. What you're going to need is just some paper. This is like the most important part. You'll just need some paper, some glue of any kind. I'm using hot glue just because it's gonna stick better and make it more durable. And if you want to go detailed, you're going to need, if you want to do the exact craft that I want my fanus to look a bit more detailed. So I got just some Dollar Tree fake flowers, or you can make some flowers out of paper, just add a nice twist to it, and it matches with the yellow paper. You're also going to need some scissors, a ruler, and again, this is optional, but I have some glitter paint because I thought it would look well with the yellow again. And I want to make my fanus really nice and detailed. And a paintbrush to paint with the glitter paint. So, how you're going to do it is you're going to start off by taking... Oh, my paper fell. Ah! Everything's falling. Okay, there we go. What you're going to start off by doing is taking your paper and you're going to fold it in half just like this, diagonally. Diagonally. I don't think I'm saying that right. I think diagonally is from one corner to the other, but you know what? That's fine. All right. There we go. And now that you have it folded in half, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut. Keep a little bit of space at the top that you're going to want to cut from the folded side. All the way up, you're going to want to cut some strips. So here is this is a model that I made beforehand, just to show you how it's going to look like at the end. And after we add the flowers and the glitter paint, it's going to be way more detailed. I didn't make this too detailed, but I have other plans for the yellow one. I hope this turns out good. Of course, you don't have to make it as detailed as I made. If you're planning on making a bunch of these, and I'll show you what craft you can make at the end if you want to make a bunch of them. Or you can sort of make like a string using this type of string. You can really use any string, but I have this really pretty Dollar Tree string, and it looks really nice. And I think it is really pretty and just goes well with the lantern. So you're gonna have to take a big piece and hang all of your Ramadan fanus, your fanus Ramadans. I don't know what the plural of that fanuses. You're gonna hang up all your fanuses on a big string like this, and you can make it and you can hang it up somewhere in your living room. So it'll be a nice big sort of string with the fawanis hanging from it. Finally got the plural to that. Right, I'm gonna finish cutting that up. Okay, and done. So now that you have all your little strips cut, you have what this looks like, and you're gonna flip it over. So we're just gonna flip it over to the side like this, and I'm going to fix my camera so you can see what I'm doing. So it was like this before. We're just gonna flip it like this, and we're gonna fold the top side. See, that's why we left a little bit of space. We're gonna grab our ruler, handy dandy ruler here. That's why I wanted you guys to bring it, and we're going to fold. So it's gonna make a perfect fold. We want our fanus to be nice and neat. You don't want it to be all over the place. So do that. And we'll do the same on the other side. I could make so many of these. I could take hours and hours to decorate each one of these, and I could put flowers, and I could put stars and hearts and patterns on these, because really, it's really fun to do them. It could go for like a room decoration or a Ramadan decoration, or you could just like put it on your table. Like, it looks really nice. And now for the fun parts. Now we're literally just gonna roll it up. I think I have it the wrong way. There. Now we're just gonna roll it up. Let me look at my model to make sure I'm doing this right. See, that's why it's always good to have a model with you. There. I know I'm doing it right. So we're just going to, there. And this one is a little bit fatter than the model one, but still it looks so nice. So I'm going to glue it now with my handy dandy hot glue that's been sitting here and waiting since the start of my story, waiting to be used. So we're going to be using that now. I'm gluing this together. Let me make sure I glue it in evenly. Okay, I'll just do the top now. Oof, this is very hot. It's been waiting for a long time. Usually I only use hot glue for crafts where I have to glue in like string and stuff, and when it comes to paper, it's really see-through, so it's actually really hot. You can really feel it. There we go. Just making sure it glues well because I don't want this to get ruined. Perfect. And now we're just going to glue the bottom. Whoosh. Ba-bing bam. And pow. Make sure you have an adult watching when you do this because this can be dangerous and you don't want to burn yourself. Hot glue is really hot. Okay, and there, you're pretty much done. It looks like a really nice and pretty lantern. And like I said, you could take a whole string and make it like this and put a bunch of fanus together on the big string. And now I want to get into the details part, which is the funnest part of all, as you know. We're going to take our flowers, and I want to figure out where I want to put the flowers. I think at the very front, like right here, would look really pretty. Yes, I'm so glad I got these flowers because it would look really pretty. Also, I'm sure if you have any old Halloween costumes, you could find little add-ons, like little details like flowers or something on old Halloween costumes, or you could find it in one of your, I'm sure everyone has one of those craft bins that are just laying downstairs in the basement and you don't even know what's inside there until you open it, and it's been laying there for years and years. So check your old vintage craft bin today for fun little pom-poms and little craft materials that you didn't even know you had. Okay. Do that. And boom! Oh my god, I'm so in love with this. I don't know why. It's just 2 flowers, but I love it so much. I really think it adds to the whole lantern. Kind of looks like eyes now if you think about it. Oh, once I see it, I can't unsee it. I'm gonna now use the glitter paint, which I think is really pretty. I chose a pretty yellow so it can match, and I got my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna put it in the top or in the rims or whatever parts I feel is kind of plain and needs some jazzing up. I'm gonna put some on this side because if I'm gonna hang it, it's gonna be from the front where the flowers can show, and people need to see that part. So I'm gonna paint the glitter paint on. Okay, that was a long, awkward silence, but you can kind of see over here, there's more glitter than everywhere else. This is the more yellowiest, this is the more yellow side of the whole lantern here. So I'm not going to do it for every single side, just the front, a little bit of the front, or I'm going to do the rest of the sides off camera because this is going to take a long time. So I'm going to do just one side before we wrap this story up. I'm so excited for Ramadan because every year it really brings joy to my heart. It's the Ramadan spirit, you know, waking up at 3 a.m., half asleep when you go eat suhoor, and half asleep when you pray, but it's all worth it in the end. And I'm so glad that in schools, March break has been postponed, so I won't have to go to school and see everyone else eating. Also, since I don't know about other schools, but my school has been closed down, so I will be doing online school in the time of Ramadan, which will be very helpful so I don't have to look at everyone else eating when I'm in the same classroom as them. So I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to do the rest off camera. But that is the end of our craft, and I hope you all enjoyed this really easy craft. If you forgot how to do it or you want to do it over and over again, just watch this video again. And it's nice to have this video on while you're doing the lantern, so it could be a step-by-step doing a story with me, and a craft with me. So that is the end, and as you can see, this one is way more detailed than the model, and you could do as much as detail as you want. So I'm going to finish painting the glitter paint off camera, but that is the end of our craft. I hope you all enjoyed the idea, and now we're going to end my story with a fun little video that I will share right now. Right here. Ramadan Mubarak, everyone.
Obsessed with this song?